Yes, good morning. Welcome to the sixth show.
Yes, good morning.
This is pretty spectacular, I think, because six. There's one more, and I'm thinking that's when I'm going to really promote it hard.
You think so?
Like
You're gonna
I'm not going to
ads?
promote it hard, but I'm going to share it. I'm going
You're
to.
gonna run $20 ads on Facebook.
I'm not going to do the ads, but I do like what you did with your trainers now, because your trainers have that beginning screen, that beginning picture,
beginning screen,
and it looks so professional.
Like that introductory.
Yeah,
screen.
so you're getting there, and I'm like, man, we gotta get our videos to evolve to have that screen. But you know what I like? What I would like to do with ours is, you know how the thumbnails are on there for our existing videos?
Yeah.
It looks like we're having a great time. I just almost wanted to take some photos of us just chilling and stuff, and
that'd be
we're
nice.
smiling and we're just interacting, or maybe have a little snippet of each one of our videos where we're kind of having some interaction together, and they kind of have little boxes that go zoom, 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 and it's and then it just kind of goes into the PS Good Morning show.
So I like maybe when we have a segment where we start to talk about a different subject, and maybe have a little box, so talk about. Okay, there we're talking about recharging cars in a parking lot.
Oh, little.
Like a little thing, or maybe how on 2 Minute Trainer there's that that screen that comes up and says, okay, here's what we're talking about.
So with yours this week, I know you got yours into 5 parts.
Right.
So when you decided to do that, how did you come up with the 5? Was it just worked out that way to where each 2 minute trainer is at 1 minute? It was just divided into 5 equal parts?
Well, because the subject matter that I was talking about was capabilities.
Yes.
And so the book that I'm using is Speed of Trust by Stephen M.R. Covey. And so that particular book breaks the capabilities into 5 different segments. So it's talents, abilities, skills, knowledge, and then the other one, I forget the last one. But anyway, there were 5 of them. And so I couldn't do all of it in a 2 minute segment. So I needed to, I did the overview. You see the overview? Yeah, I was talking about that. But then, I figured, hey, do a 2 minute segment on each one of these and just get down to it. So that's how it worked out. So the subject
cool.
it worked out.
Yeah, I logged into LinkedIn, and you're right, when you apply it to the right platform, it's really effective, because right when I logged into LinkedIn, it just popped up immediately.
Oh, wow.
And maybe it's because we're connected or something, or maybe I'm following you, but
it's connected.
unlike Facebook, it's kind of randomized, or it's just too clouded with a lot of different people, so you don't really
same
get
thing
that
with
fine-tuning,
Instagram. Same thing.
So
the only problem with Instagram is it's only 1 minute for your videos. So you got to condense as much as possible. That's why I went from a voice format to now just a slide format.
Okay.
Because sometimes I have to change that.
Did you find it was quicker to transition from one to the other, or?
Well, because Instagram's a little more of a challenge, because the I guess the demographic that's on Instagram is much different than Facebook or LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn, people have a little more time to watch stuff, whereas in Instagram, it's 1 minute. You gotta be on your game. It's gotta look like paradise in every shot. So it's just
glamorous.
The younger, it's everything is perfect on Instagram, and you just gotta be on the mark where it looks perfect.
And I like the platform. LinkedIn is a lot of people that are on LinkedIn are professionals.
Yes.
And at the same time, they're either searching for a job or seeing what's out there, but while they're doing those type of things, they're also getting some expert advice from people that are in the field or that are wanting to share things that will help them in their career. Right. So it's really neat. So I do like that platform that you've chosen, and I think that in itself. What is they have LinkedIn influencers, I think, or something like that?
LinkedIn influencers are pretty big on They are huge. They have huge followings, huge gatherings, and they've done it all organically to some degree. Some people have spent ads to promote their, but in most cases, the ones that are really, really popular are just based on their, their basically their personality. So,
and LinkedIn, I don't think there's a way you can get some monetary thing out of it.
Oh, you can.
You can?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about that, so I wasn't sure how that worked.
It's through the ads too.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's pretty interesting. That's something new that I wasn't aware of that you guys may learn today. So, anything new in the news that have you heard this week or that lately?
For what I've been seeing as far as the economy is doing really well. Over the rest of the economies across the globe, despite having those embargoes and tariffs on China, we still have a pretty strong economy. And so, what I'm concerned with is the rest of the world is having some struggles, and so
it's almost like things have flipped a little bit, and I think that's good because for the longest time, it's always been on the other side, and now it's starting to come back, and I think it's going to teeter-tot like this for a while, kind of like that, polarity shift that we talked about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's pretty cool.
And then the thing that I find most interesting is that back in the day when the auto union went on strike, United Auto Workers Union went on strike, the economy was really got hit hard. But this time, I'm not sure it's not it doesn't have as much of influence as it did before. I think because now we've kind of diversified our portfolio as far as the United States investments.
And there's so many more automakers out there too.
Oh yeah.
And more choices to where I think this strike that may be going now is hurting the people involved more than the gain that it had back then.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, it's funny because with the way things are going, you're absolutely correct. There are different segments when it comes to auto and vehicles. Right? There's different options now. So it used to be just the main industry was Ford, GM, and all of that. And now it's like so segmented.
And also too now, people are really struggling paycheck to paycheck. You know what I mean? And that gap on, these people haven't got a raise for a long, long time, and only to see cost of living and all the inflation go up. So now this time around when they're doing it, it's really hurting them on all levels. I mean, they may want to unify together, but some may not be able to do it just because it's hard to live right now the way it is. They need those jobs just to survive paycheck to paycheck. Yeah,
because the dollar doesn't stretch as much anymore.
No.
Because we printed so much of it.
But yeah, I think for the most part, I think it's good for people to unite to, the companies that they work for, that they spend 25 plus years at, they need to be taken care of. And that's all I'll say about that. I guess, there's some brotherhood going on there, and a fight for a cause. And insurance is a big thing nowadays. Everybody needs health care.
Yeah, everyone.
And there's some jobs that are really tolling on your body. I've been in the auto industry myself, and I've worked them 16-hour days, and I'm a supervisor, so I'm not on the union side of things, but still, everybody's affected by the demand and pressures of production. So, there will be technology, though, which is also another side of the argument, right? Because people like technology. There's a lot more robotics going into the industry now, which makes things a little more automated and easier. And then you get some poke-yokes to safeguard against some things that could go out that could get you in a wreck on the road. There's more things, checks and balances.
I've been seeing a lot more of robots and being incorporated into more mundane tasks in hospitals and stuff like that. There's this one that basically helps people walk to their appointment, like an assistant. They lift them up from the chair or provide them balance so that they can pull themselves up, and they would guide them to where their appointment is. And then that's what they would do. Like they would be like a reception bot.
Yeah.
They kind of like, you know, when you first walk in, you know, the Walmart greeter. But this one is a little bit different. It's more of like, let me help you find your stuff.
It would be cool if one looked like
assisted shoppers
or R2D2 or something.
Yeah, you
that
know?
would be pretty neat.
No, but that is like an assisted shopper would be awesome. Let's say, for example, Walmart starts to have all of these bots, you know, and you just kind of rent them or whatever, or they could be complimentary if they're so popular. And so they would, you know, older folks would come up and show up to the Walmart, you know, swipe their card, they activate, the robot would come up, show up, and I'll be your assisted shopper.
What? The best place that I think that could be incorporated, and this just makes me kind of excited because going to like Disneyland or something like that and having a virtual Mickey Mouse or somebody that could just be your own personal Mickey Mouse for Disneyland or Disney World that could take you to places and kind of give you like
tour guide, basically.
Tour guide, and then you can like get some extra information, but it's just always with you. You know, like right when it's like part of your package deal.
Right.
You get this tour guide that's accessible.
Yeah. Would take your pictures. I mean.
Yeah. You get a personalized experience.
You would totally like it would chronicle everything that you did, like if you had a birthday party or if it was a family reunion, and, you know, because that's what people do. You know, they'll basically save like 10 years to have a family reunion, and that, you know, that's their life savings basically.
Yeah, and it needs to be something special.
Yeah, and then so this bot would be there with them the whole time.
I think that could be definitely cool. I could definitely see that in the future. I just
you'd probably, it would be like a themed character. Like one of
their choosing.
One of the androids from Star Wars. You know, as opposed to like a main character, because you know you want that special. You know, you want that Mickey Mouse to come in. You know, you don't want your own Mickey Mouse and then like 5,000 Mickey Mouses running around. It wouldn't be special anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So you'd want to have like a character that from the Star Wars films or whatever.
Virtual reality is going to be a huge thing in theme parks and stuff, because you could all ride the same ride. You know what I mean? But what you see through your virtual reality is custom to you. So everybody's going to the the same ride that does all the same stuff. But what you see is what you want.
It's what, like yours. Yeah.
I could see that happening. The customization and I know they already kind of do some of that, but I've never been on one and I want to be on one. That sounds pretty awesome.
So have you seen that where doctors use virtual reality to do surgery?
Didn't like doctors?
They had like gloves they put on, and then they have the thing, and then they kind of they can do it remotely.
I think there was something in the news where a doctor lost his license because he was doing surgeries that he wasn't capable of doing. I'll have to look it up later, but there was something recent with that. But I think that, you know, for doctors that over the years, as they age, may not have as steady of a hand as they used to. Well, you know how like cameras have that optical stability inside the lens and stuff? Well, for a doctor, maybe he has a little bit of a shake where using this technology would kind of limit and help him to be more precise.
Right.
So I didn't think about that till now, but I think you brought up a good point on it could actually make people that know what they're doing, but maybe not being able to physically do it as well, be able to be there and be able to do it.
I've seen it where in China, the doctors, they all gathered around this machine, and like 2,000 miles away, they had a camera set up and the robot. all ready to go, and they had a patient lying on things.
Mm-hmm.
It was like just like surgery, it was all prepped, and they had the virtual classes, and so they could actually talk to each of the technicians or the nurses or the anesthesiologist and talk to them while he's doing it.
So the doctor could be remote, but
Yeah.
they would still need the on-site nurses
Yes,
and stuff
absolutely.
to make sure
Yeah.
you had the right
Right,
tools
right.
and all that stuff.
Because you need the anesthesiologist to be there present at the facility. You know, so he'd probably be the lead guy if it was far, but still, when it comes to signing the papers, it would still be that doctor.
I could see that happening with LASIK. Oh, just come on in, like a walk-in
Yeah,
LASIK
they're walking
clinic.
like a drive-through LASIK.
I think that should be a real thing because
Drive-through LASIK.
they
Just
do
come
so,
in.
yeah, they do those so quickly now, and it's
I mean,
so
you still
popular
need somebody
nowadays.
to drive you though after having a LASIK surgery.
But you could actually go into a place, like example, like a fast food joint.
The fast food joint?
But it's not a fast food joint. It's a LASIK.
Fast operating joint?
Yeah, it's a LASIK drive-through.
Yeah.
kinda.
So
Or
you like the quick stop LASIK.
Quick stop LASIK. You go in,
Like
say, what do you
quick
want?
LASIK.
I want 20/20 vision.
Yeah, give me 20.
And then you set
You
your
just
little
kinda like-
appointment on your app, and you're like, kind of like Drake clips, right? You set your appointment, tells you your wait time. You go in bad vision, you come out with good
You have
vision.
to sign this like huge waiver. Like, I will not sue anybody if the surgery goes bad because I'm taking my own risk.
But I can see it happening with LASIK because they're getting so good at it lately. You know what I mean? And
You walk
it's such a
in,
quick thing.
You know, they're like,
Mhm.
stare at the screen, and then knocks you out, and then you wake up. You're all good, all right.
No, I'm not like the prep time to get to that point, to that in and
It's
out
longer
LASIK.
than the surgery. I know.
It's longer because you gotta, you have to make sure you do these tests and blah blah blah. But then the day of the appointment is just
Yeah.
like in and out thing. And I think a lot of people would find that pretty convenient. And I think it generate more business for LASIK. I think LASIK's gonna be more of a standard thing. I mean, it's just so easy. You got great eyes.
Well, the problem with there's a maintenance period for it. You know how that works, right? How the LASIK works?
It like takes your eye and just kind of like
Yeah.
zaps it, right?
Well,
like fine tunes it somehow
See,
with lasers.
so what happens with and I don't know if people know this, but when you have LASIK surgery,
Mm-hmm.
your body thinks it's an injury, an eye injury,
So it tries to
and it
revert back to
and
your
it
old.
heals itself. And so the whole time that you're seeing good is the time that it's considering itself as an injury, and so eventually you'll have to have maintenance done. And so you
That
have
makes
to.
sense because it's like your DNA says.
Yeah, yeah.
Your eyes were made to be designed like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Something's
You
altered.
need glasses.
I'm gonna fight you. Yeah. I made you to
Yeah.
need glasses. And
And so
I,
the program in your brain is like you have bad eyes, and your DNA is telling you you're gonna have bad eyes. And then you go to LASIK, and it's like, oh, you got an injury, so let's go ahead and heal you back to where the DNA tells you.
so if your brain or your DNA is saying your eyes are supposed to be a certain way,
Yeah.
like whether it's bad side or good side, do you? I don't know, but there's some sci-fi movies where people have been retrofitted with a computer eye. Do you think that
That's
that
happening.
could be more of a standard to where? I mean, I wish I could see through one of those computer eyes to see how it actually looked.
I think it's
you know.
going to be very different from the way we look at things, because there have been some folks that have been very successful in having like that. They've actually had it done.
See, I think that it would
It's
be
very
more
rare,
like
though, right now.
you know how like snakes can see like vision. I almost imagine it like in that type of dimension through that type of eye for whatever reason.
Can you imagine though if you had like an eye implant and you requested infrared, or just like like
That'd be cool.
like just like in Terminator where the lights go off and you can
Just
just
vision.
hear.
I think it would be pretty cool to see at night.
Or it could be something where an older person that has this different. I mean, things are going to be so different when we're in our 80s and 90s, right? Because the technology of biotech is going to be so advanced that who knows?
Even if our eyes are trying to repair themselves through LASIK, the biotech, your body will probably try to reject whatever that is. Too.
Well, see, so the thing with that, right? Like we were talking about one of the earlier videos that we had. But if you can modify your DNA, that's just it. So if you can modify your DNA, you can modify everything else. So just imagine staying 29 the rest of your life. You would look 29 the whole time. Your physique, your everything would be, but you're 60, 70 years old.
So what would be your magic number that you think everybody would want to be at?
I don't know. I really enjoyed being 40. To be honest with you.
I mean,
40 is pretty.
I think
30 is a little too young still.
Mentality-wise, I think 40 is good. Like I'm chill. I don't need to be
40.
crazy,
Yeah, because
and my thirst for knowledge, I think, it's like
it's
you
good,
get to
right?
that age where like, man, you get more hobbies, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you get more time to be more passionate about it. And at that age too, you seem to have more money to invest in your hobbies.
Well, because like at 30, I was so obsessed with some of my hobbies that, I tended to neglect a little bit of the BAM. So it's like, you know what? 40s were good because it didn't really matter. Like, hey, I have a hobby.
So we're
I'll work
talking
on
about
it
looks though,
sometimes.
right?
Yeah.
But at the same
but
time,
mentally too.
yeah. So mentally, when you're 40, you may want to look like you're 29. But remember we talked about the costume. You become what you look like, right? So if you're 29, you'd be like,
what would be
I
crazy
look 29, but I'm gonna act 29.
I don't know. Would you?
No, I don't think.
I don't think so. I think what would be interesting though is if you had this technology, but your friends didn't have it. And so you'd get together and you'd feel, how like the psychological thing about it, like everyone is like, aging and you're not, and they're like, oh look at you look like you drank the water at the fountain of youth. What's your secret? And then of course, it'd be like, especially when you start, losing friends, you're like, I don't know, there'd be an amount of guilt, I think. Like, you know what I mean? To like be cheated death or something. And just sometimes it just, you know what I mean? It just like,
you didn't really cheat. It's just the way you look, right? You just look like you're 29.
But still, I mean that comes along with. I mean, a lot of people are doing that today. They want to look 29, right? And surgery looks horrible.
And then they're like, they're like perma, like their eyebrows are like way up here.
I'm not smiling.
And they got their skin pulled back.
Literally, I'm not smiling.
And they get obsessed with getting rid of wrinkles to where now their whole face looks like weird.
Stretched that. It was really funny because like I remember like seeing a video where somebody like right here had like taken like really strong tape and then taped it on this side and then had like a really strong band in the back, right?
That'd be so uncomfortable.
And then they wore a wig over the top of it, so the wrinkles were like, I mean, there were no wrinkles whatsoever.
You gotta have some
But
character,
even like,
right? That's what makes us unique is those little things that we go through in life.
well, you know, it's more of a psychology than anything else because when you have to have all sorts of surgeries, it's kind of an insecurity. There's this deep level of insecurity.
And they become addicted to trying.
Yeah.
It's not, they can't feed it, right? Because they're so insecure.
Yeah. So, the whole thing is that I feel better about who I am if I have this particular look and people, quote unquote, have this expectation in their mind that this is what people expect of me and how I should look. But really, the ones that are feeling very strong and very insecure about themselves will age naturally and maybe have a little touch up, but not make it their obsession because then you have these folks that have this.
I think sometimes when people get older, they finally look the way they should look. You just, I don't know.
I mean, because the way I see it is, if you are beautiful on the inside, it shows on the outside,
Oh, no matter what.
no matter what.
Yeah,
You know.
I like that. I could just end the show with
Just
that
like that, right?
note and say that's the message of the week. Beautiful on the
Yeah.
inside, beautiful no matter what. Don't worry about it.
Like I like, even though, like, this is like a confession. I've always had a crush on like Raquel Welch. Like,
I'm gonna have to Google that 'cause I don't know.
But anyway,
How do you,
man,
how
I've
do you
always
even
had a
spell
crush on
it?
her.
Like,
And to this day, I don't care how old she is, she's beautiful. Yeah, Leonardo Raquel Welch.
I'm not know if I spell it.
That, you know, Jacqueline Smith is.
Raquel Welch.
Yeah, and Jane Seymour.
Oh yeah.
This is a confession. Yeah.
I don't know. Like this one looks like she's got something done, right? But the old pics, very classic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Very beautiful.
But I think that's. I mean, I think that you can't go wrong with classic. I don't think.
No.
You know, the classic.
Overdone is horrible.
Yes.
It's kind of scary.
No, it's.
Wait, because like people ask them, I've read this thing where this person had surgery and was obsessed with doing surgery, and then one day they wake up and they look in the mirror and they're like, who is this person?
Oh my goodness.
Like what? Yeah, what happened? And then they see an old picture of themselves and they're like,
I went from here to here.
I was good
messed
looking
up.
back in the day,
Yeah.
but man, I don't even know myself anymore. I hate myself. Yes, so psychologically, psychologically, it could weigh on having so many surgeries. And if anybody has been through this, you can comment below. Hey, if you're happy with the way things turned out, great. But from what I've read, and I'm going by what I read, not by what my experiences. So I think if people see and comment based on their experiences, then it would be a different perspective.
Yeah.
So what we need, right? That's what this social media is all about.
Right.
Different perspectives. But I do like, you know what? I do like the surgeries they perform on kids that have them.
Oh, the cleft.
Yeah, the
cleft
cleft.
lip. I think that's just a
That's
huge.
amazing.
It's amazing because the confidence that kid has going
Yeah.
to school, and
Yeah.
it just breaks down the challenges that kid got go through just from that simple procedure. Things like that, I think. I just feel like that should be provided if, like, a kid had that defect. Just give them the surgery. Find a foundation that's willing to pay for it, or just somehow take care of it.
Just, for our audience out there, if you are watching this and feel compelled to support an organization that really helps out, I think it would be
Start.
helpful, not only when you can provide for, but also the end result, for a child to have the confidence they need.
Some normalcy.
And some normalcy, and really, when this can be easily corrected, then why not?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure there's somebody with a fund me now somewhere that's trying to get this done. So,
And I think that would be pretty cool if we could get a lot of people to start up fundraiser, or get somebody to be just convicted.
I'm sure there's
to
a
help
nonprofit
somebody.
out there.
Yeah. If there's somebody out there that wants us to help join the cause, reach out to us. I think that would be pretty cool for us to help spread the word, some awareness. Giving us some more information to help share with people and help out. I know right now there's a lot of things going on with mental health. I think it's a big thing.
Mental health is huge.
Especially when I feel social media has contributed to a lot of instability in mental health.
Or you know what? Like I was saying in one of my, I think when I haven't published a video yet for Continuing Trainer, but what the internet has done has exposed our insecurities as a society. Because the more insecure we are, the more we have to prop up ourselves, and make our life look perfect when it's really not. And so this duality of showing and perceiving that we have a great life when we're really not having that, this great divide causes this huge gap in mental health. Because then you ask yourself, is this really who I am?
Or it makes people wish for things that never really are there.
Yeah.
You know, it's a
But it's
perception.
true, yeah.
It's like they wish they had what
Yeah.
they see in that picture.
If they have it, how come I can't? Why is their life so perfect and mine isn't?
Right. And that's just a snapshot, guys. That's why it's called Snapchat.
Yeah.
It's a snap. You don't see the whole picture. Instagram is so instant. You know, Facebook is just, you only see the face, but you're not seeing everything around. You know, you're not seeing the world.
Yeah.
And sometimes what you see on someone else's page is the complete opposite of what they're living, because they're trying to create this world through that they're trying to live in, but they can't
this
live in.
lens that they're trying to maintain and prop up. Yeah, I think that's true. You know, like a lot of these, like, it shows you. I mean, granted, there's a lot of people that have achieved, right? Like there are 23-year-old billionaires that have achieved great things, right? But not everyone is 23 years old and has $1 billion in their bank account. It's just not it. And so the select few, the few that make it there, is what everyone wants to achieve, but they don't realize that their life is still their life. The money might have. The way I see it sometimes is that the money creates this, whatever you were, right? If you were a nice person and you obtain lots of money, you become a better nice person. If you are a bad person and you get more money, you become more of a bad person. So whatever it is, like it amplifies your character. It's your character flaw, so to speak. That's the way I see it. If you're really a nice person,
but they always say sometimes money changes people. So sometimes money could take a nice person and all of a sudden make them super nervous because they think that people are trying to use them, or they're so cautious.
Yeah.
You know, it can make people flip.
They'd be more jaded, I guess you would say. If a nice person, sometimes people can try to take advantage of them,
Right.
and so they get
It gets to a point,
jaded,
right?
and
Yeah.
like, just not another gimmick. I lost already, 15 grand because somebody conned me out of it, whatever. Because I was a nice person.
And man, if I won the lottery or had $1 billion, I think I could do so much good.
I think
I'd be looking for things to create goodness everywhere.
Out of it, yeah.
I'm excited to think about what I would do. You know, you're like, because like,
Can you imagine
we talk about our age, right? So we talk about the age of 40, right?
Yeah.
Mental wise, I think that
keep talking.
for me the material stuff.
Go ahead. Keep
Material stuff is like as you get to a certain age, I don't think you're impressed by material things as much, and you're more impressed about how you can impact and what you can do to someone else's life that bring you more enjoyment. But I'm saying that because that's me, right? So maybe I'm totally wrong. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. But I feel that as you get older, you really can focus on the things that matter, and the things that matter is how you can make somebody feel. If I'm totally wrong, or if I'm just a unique person, just let me know, because I just feel like that's the route I would take if I had that money, and that would be the purpose of my life. Okay, so
we're back.
Now we're back. So took a little break, and we're talking about mental health and things like that, and
I had to take a mental break.
Insecurities, but we didn't talk too much about technology, but we did talk about some things that matter, and it is a big problem right now with mental health. It's just from a day to day, I don't know, I just feel like playing outside
Right.
getting into trouble with your friends or whatever helps prepare some toughness.
I think more of a sense of because because our world is different from the world today. It's vastly different, and you're right though, because social interaction helps out with the mental health, but also a resiliency of the sorts, right? Because when you got beat up in the playground, you just picked yourself up and it didn't really get to you, right? You just had to blow it off, basically.
And by getting hurt, it got tougher.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
You know,
I mean, if
like,
you're in fights and stuff, you know, you're like, okay, well, I got beat this time, but next time if it happens, then I won't. You know, here's my opportunity, right? So you throw the beat down, and then you feel like, yeah, I feel good. I survived. I didn't have to go to the hospital.
And sometimes getting a black eye was kind of cool.
Yeah, then people were like, hey, what happened to you? Like,
Got in a fight.
Well,
Oh, okay.
you know,
Well, you'll get them next time.
what happened was.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I guess there's some resiliency to that. You know, it kind of draws the person's motivation out, so to speak, determination, stubbornness, the wherewithal to withstand stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, today's society, you know, hey, I got beat on my video game. You know, man, that guy, I don't know what he did, but I think he cheated.
Well, talk about video games.
Yeah, let's talk about video games.
I love
It's
video
important.
games, and how the consoles have evolved has changed how people are tough as well. You know, because when you're playing with your buddy and you're
Yeah.
side by side,
Yeah.
you kind of get that bond and interaction with your friend, right? Playing. But if you lose, you can actually hit your friend, right?
Yeah.
And you create some toughness in you.
Yeah.
Where when you're playing online, yeah, you lose and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but it's too easy. I mean, I just don't feel like it's almost like, I don't know, like the online experience I don't think is the same as playing with your buddy right next to your friend. A versus game.
Well, you know, because like there's a lot to that, but then again, a lot of kids are plugged in. You know, they can hear each other.
Yeah.
You know, make comments and stuff. You know, I think we've gone overboard with the whole bullying thing.
But I remember
I
when
mean, there is a point where it's really obsessive and really crazy, but
I would spend all night playing video games with my buddy,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff like that, and
side by side, right?
side by side, where playing against
The
somebody across the
N64, right?
world,
Yeah.
you know, doesn't really fulfill it to me. But I guess people have created good friendships from
yeah.
people across the world by playing certain games too. So I guess I haven't gotten that deep into video games as I got
Yeah.
older to really experience that bond with a complete stranger
Right.
across the world. But I guess I gotta give it a chance before I judge it. I guess I might have to do a little test and
Yeah.
do maybe a couple, I don't know, pick a week where I just try to really see how that world is as an experiment,
Yeah.
like this social experiment for myself.
So like e-games, right? E-game. I don't know if you know, but e-games are huge.
Yeah, the
Massive.
worlds are huge, right?
I mean, it's massive. I mean, put it this way: it puts probably FIFA. It could almost surpass FIFA. I mean, that's how big it's becoming. Like, can you imagine a World Federation NFL?
Why
Can you imagine having an e-games that is on that platform? Because now you don't have to be there physically. You can just plug in and they can all be. I mean, it would be huge servers though to support something like an e-game league.
Well, okay, so let's take this to another level. Let's take people into one platform that would design a whole city. Like get the best architectures and structural engineers in the world to basically create a city together and that could become a real thing. That would be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
Like
I think
I know like a sandbox city. I would like to see the
You
world's
mean
first
like SimCity? Like SimCity, like a real life SimCity?
a real life sim city. I would like to see
Like
the most
real
brilliant-
architectures.
Oh yeah.
Real like
But I would
city
actually
planners.
yes, I would like
Like the whole
the
like
government or somebody to provide a plot of
Like-
land for these people.
let's say for
Please.
okay, so say for example let's pick somewhere remote. Let's say for example in the middle of I don't know, we usually use Africa, so I don't know. Well, let's
Because
use
there's nothing
Africa.
there, right? There's nothing there.
We'll use Africa for example. Then you have all these virtual city planners, these people that are, hey, let's build a community that is
Yeah.
self-sustaining in the middle of the desert.
Right.
And if we could do this, we can prove it to the rest of the world that we can do this.
Let's make a pod and create a mini city developed by you guys that is totally
That's
funded.
totally like it has its, it can create its own water, it can create its own energy, it can sustain a business. I mean, it's like all sorts of stuff.
Mhm.
They do the cottage industry maybe at the beginning. It's kind of like SimCity in general.
I would like to
plant
see what they
crops.
would be able to create. You know what I mean? I just want to see full creative mode that allows people to not worry about what limitations.
Any basic needs, everything would be taken care of.
And using, engineering and the technology that we
Yeah.
have to design
But-
something that is totally awesome.
Yeah.
That they wouldn't be scared of like big oil companies hating
Sure.
it or something like, you know what I mean? It's just like
So
create
but-
something that works and let's see it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think what's important too, though, for this whole challenge, right?
Mhm.
I think everything has to be organic from that area. It's like it belongs in that. Like all the materials that they use would be from that area. That way they can reproduce it, as
True.
opposed to something that is inorganic that you have to ship in.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to be.
You can do a lot of stuff with sand.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You can
Yeah.
find ways to like create the sand where, they can create their own silicon city or whatever it may be, right? That would be their primary industry or however they make it, right? Because there's so much sand. And then you like build up like, they grab stuff from the forest or whatever, and then they, whatever they use for their huts now,
Mhm.
they can create more materials from that because these guys invent this way of creating these structures built on whatever they have.
Or just let some brilliant minds get together from multiple
Yeah,
car companies and
Yeah.
create one vehicle that is the best vehicle on earth.
yeah.
Instead of competing against each other, trying to get each other sales, just come together. Make something
Yeah.
awesome and efficient.
Like a totally United Motors works.
Yeah, it's a monopoly. Oh no, we can't have that. They took over the auto industry. They're a monopoly. We gotta have competition.
So I want to go back to the e-games thing because I think we're gonna see, because in Korea right now, they're huge. The best players on e-games come from Korea. Why? Because they play almost 48 hours straight. Like do not eat, do not sleep. Moms are worried, they're crying because they don't have a
Here's
relationship.
the
with their
crazy thing.
I mean, it's
Their
like crazy.
reflexes and
Oh my gosh,
they are
the
just
hand
so
and eye coordination.
they're so fine
It's
tuned.
just so incredible.
I bet you they could like move so like they got
you
their
imagine-
fingers and
I
their
mean-
mouth so precise to where it's so
Like just everything.
Instinct,
I
right?
mean, I've seen guys using the keyboard.
uh-huh.
That is ridiculous. I can't imagine using keyboard. I can't imagine using joystick. But they do it with the keyboard.
It's just like a professional guitar player. They practice, and then
I mean,
they
some
just
of
pick it up
them,
and
some of them are getting more money from endorsements
Mhm.
than an NFL football player.
yeah.
I mean,
Definitely.
not a lot. I mean, the future of it being a worldwide league is evident. And anybody, can you imagine owning your own e-games league, like the Som Fantastics. And then you like, instead of touring the world, you'd go online and tour.
What do they call those right now where you create your groups of gamers, like your guild?
Oh, is that what they are, like the Gamers Guild?
Yeah, you got certain, they all had, like back in the day, they had the special code that you had to add to your handle.
Oh, wow.
To let everybody know you're part of that. I remember, I was part of the guild. I wasn't very good, but being part of one, you got so many kickbacks.
Can you imagine being an owner, though? An owner of an e-games league. That's like, it would be like Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'd have all these major sponsors come in and, support your league. You'd be an owner and you'd have to divide up the salaries and whatever.
I mean, I don't know if there might be something like this, but I don't know if it's official, but you would actually have Gamers Academy where people would go to college or school to learn how to be a good gamer. But the best gamers are the ones that just put in the time at home, right?
Yeah.
They're just playing.
Well, it's funny because like I'm starting to see e-game leagues popping up. Like I think you can, it's just like when you first had the internet. It's kind of, there's no regulation. It's all wild west. You can get on your own. I think we're starting to see where it's becoming more popular, where you have to rent a facility to do your challenges, your teams, and creating the infrastructure now. So it's like kind of like, can you imagine having an e-games stadium? Like where you would have
everybody is in Arrowhead, and each seat in Arrowhead has a setup for your own high-powered laptop.
And that would be insane. Can you imagine one weekend, just that's all that would happen that weekend. That was it's like be like the poker thing, like the 24-hour poker tournaments. I guess there are weeks that they're on this thing. People don't eat, don't sleep, they just think about their last hand. I mean, that's basically what it would turn out.
Wow. I think it'd be fun, depending on what game it was.
It'd be like Ready Player One.
It would be, and I love that movie. I always say I love that movie. I want to buy it. I'm gonna buy it.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that song?
I have.
Where they actually have the thing where you can run. Have you seen
I saw it on Kickstarter. Kickstarter's kind of come up with something
where
that's
you
similar
actually strap in and then you can run in any direction.
That would be virtual. Neat. I would love that. That would be like the next generation Wii. You know what I mean?
It'd be like the athletic Wii.
We had a good
Player One.
We had a good concept, but not the graphics. It seemed like, or it was just like a part of it that they just needed that to make it complete.
Can you imagine being the guy that creates the Ready Player One platforms? Like all and like to set it up just like it was in the movie.
That would be awesome. And there's probably somebody already trying to work on it. You got to think that's happening.
I mean, the problem with that is just the bandwidth that we have to create. And I think that's why people are moving to 5G. It'd be interesting to see how that plays out because they were saying that 5G it's stronger when it comes to radiation. So. They say, hey, if your phone is 5G, you got to keep it away from yourself, like totally.
Well, most of our phones are 5G right now, aren't they?
No, we're only 4G right now. The infrastructure is being introduced right now to 5G.
Well, like our routers at home are 5G.
Can you imagine having a 12G network? I mean, I wonder if you'd have to wear a radiation suit.
Instant. That's where these haptic suits will come into play.
Can you imagine creating an algorithm that can play all the e-games and you just hit the button? Do you remember that back in the day where people had created programs for speed dialing and they would always win on the radio shows? They call in now, and like
memory buttons.
Dude,
right? They had that already, like
that'd be the
controllers
same
that
thing.
have combinations where you push one button and it already has
the combinations.
Yeah, all those old Street Fighter games, remember? You got the, oh, if I push this button, I can do the Hadouken right away.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I don't have to do all that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
hit it,
just-
right? There's so much money, like we were talking about peripherals, right? There's so much money in the gaming industry on creating customizable keyboards,
Oh, yeah.
ergonomic mouses.
Keyboards, headphones.
Everybody has a
sets.
preference, so you're going to cater to a niche of some sort. You're going to make money, and then it's all about marketing. It's amazing what an LED light can do to a product. You know what I mean? I'm telling you the truth. It's like
Yeah,
you add a
absolutely.
cool logo, you add
Yeah.
the color green, and it
Yeah.
glows.
Nothing new. Nothing new, right?
gaming.
Nothing new, right?
Right.
And you just add another LED that kind of siphons off the whatever it is for when you're picking up the voices.
Mhm.
It just kind of does its own beat or whatever.
Yeah.
Just plug that in. I mean, really, when we think about it, this world is abundant, right? There's nothing. I mean, it's just getting plugged into that stream, right?
I'm just amazed at all the different things that are created to make your life a little bit simpler that you don't even think about. Like, they got even culinary stuff that, you spend hours in the kitchen, for example, maybe peeling potatoes, and then all of a sudden they come up with this glove, you just go like that, and it's all, all the skin's off. You're like, where has this been my whole life?
Yeah, like it's so simple, right? Like the garlic peeler. Have you seen the garlic peeler? You throw it in there, you just do like this, and it's all.
And then you got the hat where you put the garlic in the jar and you shake it.
Oh yeah, I've seen that where you just got, and then it all comes.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's people that find ways and make videos to make your life simpler, and they're being able to
Yeah.
make some monetary gain off of it.
I mean,
It's all about knowledge, right? So everybody likes information, but whoever can organize it and create a niche out of it,
yeah,
that's how you monetize.
yeah. I mean, it's like necessity is the mother of all creation, right? All invention. So it's kind of like, hey, if you have a need, just exploit it a little bit. Like, say for example, like the baby carriers, they would hold the kids like this, with their feet out. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
somebody said, hey, you know what, man, why don't I just strap my kid up with like
Right.
some belts and stuff?
Exactly.
And they're like, hey, why don't we just fabricate this like this and
So-
strap them in?
Do you think people go to libraries or museums more?
I think, well, are we talking about
Just in general, like.
just in general? I think people, just because of this, people are spending less time in the library.
Okay. So my
But
point
museums
is,
would be something.
well, that's my point. I'm trying to create a comparison. The library has all the information you want, but if you take a portion of the library and take a certain thing, let's say art, and create an art museum, which is basically part of the library, you created a niche, and then your traffic starts going to that niche. It's kind of like the internet. The internet has all of this information,
Yeah.
but if you can take a specific subject, create
Yeah.
a YouTube channel, or create a niche on that
Yeah.
subject alone, you will generate traffic there.
No, 'cause I think
and people like going to niches versus going to a place that has all the information.
Because I do like, our discussion last time about creating a Google Kids.
Oh yeah, I think that's amazing.
And then you can do like Google Singles, you can do Google Friends, you can do Google.
people like niches.
I mean,
that's
like
what I'm
niches.
saying.
That's just it. They would be totally Google Truck Fest. Google whatever.
I would.
Google Chevy, Google Ford, Google Banana,
People
Google
have their
Avocado. I mean,
And everybody likes to be part of something, right?
Google T-shirt. I mean, like all these like sub industries. Google Restaurant.
People like their brands, so you can even have, that's the way people are. People like to be on one side. They like to be part of a team, and they like
Yeah.
competition in
Oh,
a
yeah.
nature, right?
Yeah.
So that's what.
Can you
Gives it
imagine
its
Google
energy.
Fantasy Football? All you have to do is press Google Fantasy Football, and then all the information that fantasy football and all the leagues and all the, all information about your team and who, projections and how this fantastic screen would be catered to your team. I mean, the whole thing would be awesome.
People can win big money on fantasy football too.
Yeah, I think they're like 50,000 a week or something, and more.
March Madness, NCAA.
I mean, tons of stuff. Golf tournaments. I think people are like.
Golf is becoming a lot bigger lately. I think
Especially in the ladies sector. In the ladies sector, in just 10 years,
I think
huge.
The ladies sector in anything has gotten huge.
Anything with ladies in it has gotten huge.
Yeah, it has, and they're
killing it. I'm telling you. I mean, because look at all the peripherals that go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Say, for example, let's just use golf. I mean, ladies have to look good when they're like playing golf, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got skirts, shirts, headbands, or visors. You got sunglasses. You got shoes. You got socks. You got pink colored clubs. You got pink colored anything, like, you know what I mean? It just, the clubs are different for ladies. They're lighter weight. All of this stuff is huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge.
And their height and everything.
But imagine this, right? But it's a niche. Can you imagine this too? Like
a lot of power.
Like female fishing. I mean, example. That's gotten huge.
That's
Ladies
awesome.
in ladies tournaments.
Yeah.
Because the monetary reward for the tournaments for the ladies is it's almost up there with the men. So you can kill it. Seriously. Imagine all the sponsorships, the lures, everything. Lures, rods, gear, boats, coolers,
So here's
koozies.
These are just some little examples that we're talking about that
It's
can
amazing.
really. I guess what's your guys' excuse? There's so much opportunity out here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ladies in racing and NASCAR, right?
Oh yeah.
That's even huge too.
The main thing that we're talking about is what we're really getting onto is diversity is something that is being embraced, and it definitely makes life exciting.
Definitely.
And diversity creates all these different things that you can get and create. I don't know. I think that's awesome. I think we're at that. It doesn't matter no more. Diversity is just something that really needs to be embraced. And
can you imagine having like an electric vehicle that when you go online to buy, when you do your first initial research, you can customize it to the way you like. Say for example, a lady goes, "Hey, you know what? I like the ergonomics of this vehicle is geared toward men, guys, but I want to change it. So let me do this. Let me modify it. The whole. Make it where instead of shifting down here, it would shift up here, or you have a steering wheel that's comfortable here on wider on the sides than on top. We have those cushions or seat belts with the pad. And then you just.
I think it would be
You
cool.
could do like that. You just program all of that in, and then when you pick up the vehicle,
If you had to get that immersive sound and that extra quality in your sound, it would be cool to have your seat belt have like a haptic speaker on it, to where when you're listening to your stereo, but it's in your car already.
yeah,
That would be cool.
and you can feel it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be kind of cool where you have the strap where you have it in it, and you just.
And then when you go to the drive-in movies, you're wearing.
Wait. There aren't any more drive-in movies. What are you talking
But if you could, right, you bring back. Instead of the drive-in movies, then you go to a theater, and you're actually wearing kind of like a seatbelt to give you that extra
that'd be kind of cool.
immersion.
You'd be like, okay, so it would be like something where you strap in like a ride,
When you're watching movies.
and you're watching a
And
movie
you're
and you
feeling
totally
everything.
feel everything.
Oh, that would be cool. I would go to that movie. I would go today.
Like you would feel actually like you'd have these jets like if they were riding in the, or they're riding in the rain, the sprayed a mist.
I actually
you could feel it.
When we went to the
4D.
Omaha Zoo, the Henry Dorley Zoo in Omaha,
Yeah.
we actually went to one of these IMAX theater things that they were doing, and it was like one of those environmental ones where it actually.
Oh, you have all of that stuff?
It had that there, and we went through some cold area, and you could actually feel the coldness, and there was actually water that sprayed in our face. It was cool. I think over in Branson they had something like that as well.
Disney has it where the little sprayers are on the seat in front of you.
Yeah.
So when you start, and there will be a little fan there too.
Yeah.
So if you're in the rainforest, and you'd feel it.
I know that there was this. I think maybe we went to a zombie one where there was like blood splattering.
Oh no!
And
you'd actually feel blood splattering.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was a good experience. That was fun. I wish they would take like old malls and they would turn them into like the ultimate paintball like area.
I don't know. I like. Have you ever watched the original Dawn of the Dead? If you watch the original Dawn of the Dead, it takes place in a mall.
Oh, it does?
It
Oh, I didn't know that.
It is the security people in the mall are trapped because all of the people turned into zombies.
Huh.
And they gotta fight their way out. They're on top of the roof and everything. So it'd be funny to like have that, Dawn of the Dead mall.
That would be cool. I think that would get a lot of people to go to
like
that.
escape room, like a huge, like a massive.
You'd have ways, right? You have two entrances. You'd have this side or this side, and you have.
I don't know. Could you do like instead of like hiring people? Can you actually do like maybe like an augmented reality, not necessarily like virtual reality, but have an augmented reality where you have it where the zombies will be chasing you, but they're not really there. That way, you're not hiring. You'd hire person one actor, instead of having a bunch of people come in and pretend like they're, and then you have the liability of them falling down or whatever. Chris will see you.
Well, you could probably set it up with, like, they're making really good quality holograms lately. So maybe you could have
like
holograms, and then
the hologram mall.
Your lasers, your guns are kind of like shoot electronic impulses, and kind of somehow the AI can detect and make that hologram do certain things when it's hit. I don't know, that'd be kind of cool.
You know what would be kind of cool though? What I would think would be kind of cool is if Amazon created a virtual mall where you can put on your Google glasses or whatever, your Amazon glasses, and then you're in the mall and you're actually touching the item that you want, so you can actually see dimensions. Because when you're in Amazon now, you don't know what really you're getting until you get there. Or if it, whatever. But I think with that added, hey, here's our featured product. Why don't you try it out? Here's a, vacuum cleaner. Here's the dimensions. You can touch it, like turn it on.
See how loud it really sounds.
Yeah, to have it all like do all of the atmospheric, so to speak, or buy a tent where Coleman's sponsoring the site, right? So you virtually go into a forest and there's the tent, and you're walking around it. And you see it getting rained on, but you're not getting wet. You see the wind blowing 50 miles an hour, or you can control it, right? It's like, I want wind to go, 50 miles an hour. So okay, I want it from the northwest, so it's coming from northwest, and it's blowing, and
it's
you
almost
see the
like
frame.
Basically, everything turns into a simulation.
Yeah, basically, like a sim shopping experience.
Yeah.
You come in and you see, and you actually stand in
order
the tent.
real stuff.
Yeah. So you stand in the tent. And it's like, okay, I could actually stand up in here.
I don't think that's too far away. Honestly.
Instead of buying, Can you imagine if like just the fact that we come out with like these things? It'd be kind of cool to be like, be established. It started with PS Good Morning, and now it's like a virtual mall.
I think everything that we talk about is just breathing life into those, and they're getting created right now as we speak.
Pretty
That's
awesome,
how I
though.
feel. Because there's got to be more people that.
Can you imagine in 2 years we're reading about it? Like, holy mackerel.
This show will become more of a think tank, and people will be like, "Hey, here's the concept.
This is a think tank.
Start talking to your buddy, record
Comment
it."
below. Ring that bell.
Yeah.
Well, I do like the videos you've been sending me about how to monetize on YouTube.
And there's so much
It's
opportunity.
changed. It's changed so much, from back in the day when you got, solely sponsors and stuff.
And I think too, like for us in our age, they think because the younger generation's killing it on these YouTube videos. You know what I mean? They somehow figured it out way before we did.
Yeah.
But I think that things are going to turn, and people are going to start watching more videos that are coming from the more mature, maybe adult group, because we got some insight that the youngsters haven't experienced. Or
Well, what's funny because what we ought to do is maybe one time or another we bring somebody in, and we can do like maybe we can have 4 microphones set up, and bring somebody in maybe like your daughter's age come in and we'll like interview them, right?
like they'll be like, my dad wants me to go do this show. You know what I mean?
But it'd be kind of
Yeah.
interesting to see like maybe somebody in
Ask some
college.
questions. Yeah. I think we can get them, and we just ask some
Yeah.
questions. and
What do
they
you think
answer.
of what do you want in your world?
I think we would have to go to their element to do it to be successful.
So we have to go to like
instead
a
of them,
college.
Instead of them coming here, we actually hit the floor, hit the streets,
I
and
think that'd
be in
be a
their
great
input,
idea.
because now we're entering their zone, and they're going to be more open to answer the questions because they're in their area.
I think I'd like that.
That'd
I'd
be
like that
cool.
just to ask them, some basic questions.
Mhm.
If you had a chance to mold your world, what would it look like? What would be,
And that would actually help streamline the show that we do or whatever, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
We ask the same question to many different people.
There are different people, and you have that whole like, hey, yeah, if you had a vehicle, if you were to design a vehicle for the future, what would the vehicle be? What would it look like? What were some of the features that would be important to you? What are some of the environmentals that you might be interested in?
I know one of the things that is a big challenge, and it's so stupid, right? That people are leaving their kids in the vehicle.
Oh my God. Yeah, we talked about that.
But when one of the shows we talked about wearables, how you have to have maybe this and this in a proximity to start your car. What if you just put something on your baby, and then the other part of the key was your watch,
You totally prevent it.
and then if you leave your car,
Accidentally.
because this is paired with whatever your baby's wearing,
It's kinda
gonna
like
alert
the-
you, or maybe it should shock you, like your watch
So-
should shock you because
so-
you left your kid in the car.
I mean, we have them now, right? We have baby monitors like crazy.
Right.
Why not have them in your vehicle automatically? And your key fob will tell you.
Right, there's got to be something that would not let you leave far without an alarm or
right,
something.
right.
So if it is a wearable such as your watch, it would you call it the daddy driver kit or the mommy,
Yeah, reminder kit or whatever.
mobile
Even
parent.
for grandparents, I mean, because sometimes
Yeah.
anyway.
So you can call it the mobile parent,
The
right?
mobile parent.
So the concept of it is it's like
We put the watch
either a
on their
bracelet
kid. Yeah,
or what?
bracelet would be
or
perfect.
something, right? Something that whenever you go travel,
Yeah.
whether it's on your diaper bag or
Yeah,
whatever it
and
is.
you have it plugged into your phone too, so it can Bluetooth into your phone.
So it's almost like a house arrest thing, right? Where these two things need to be close together. If not, it's
it
gonna
sends off an alarm.
either keep on vibrating, and it's gonna be super annoying to where it's gonna make you know, like
Yeah.
there's no more excuses. It's like
Yeah,
it
there
could
should
be
be.
to the
There shouldn't be
extreme.
any. There shouldn't. This shouldn't be happening.
Right. This shouldn't be happening. I mean, this
Yeah.
is a life or death thing, right? To where you can put the adjustment settings to how hard you want it to vibrate.
Vibrate.
So if it's a watch, you'd be like, man,
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I do not let this happen again.
Yeah.
Where the bottom of your watch has a little needle,
That,
and
like,
it will just
like shock you.
It will spring, like it will spring and poke
like
you,
poke you.
and be like, wake up, like you left your kid in your car.
I mean, because
You
like,
know what I mean?
they have the steering wheels now where if it feels like you're drifting off, it will vibrate.
Oh yeah.
I think it would be very similar technology where, you know, if your kids are in the vehicle, it would be a reminder to say, hey,
Or
vibrate to let you
here's
remember
another thing
that
too. What if, as a safety
Yeah.
feature, you decided to venture off and you ignored your alarm, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
your kid's still in the car.
Yeah.
What if that automatically locked the doors and started it up like a push start
Yeah.
and
And
turned
like
on the air
ventilated the area.
Yeah, like, or it automatically rolled down the windows instead of locking it.
Or you
But
know,
I don't want your kid to get kidnapped either. But
Right.
it would be like a last minute resort
I
for
think-
like your.
I think with that,
watch.
when it's activated, both parents will be notified, or you know, a
or
guardian.
you can set it up to notify many people in your
Right.
family.
Or if after 3 non-responses, it automatically pings the police department or fire department to come. Because
Or
I've seen
if
it
your
where
vehicle has OnStar can
Yeah.
roll down the windows for you or something.
because I've seen it where the police officer has seen, or a child has actually seen, like kids in a van or whatever, and they smash the window.
Yeah. So that's why I think that if you got these two wearables that are too far apart,
Yeah.
you have authorized in that
Right.
event that the car will automatically,
Do what it never needs to do.
right, yeah, lower like,
Windows.
the windows
turn
could be the
on the
life-saving
fan,
thing, right?
right.
That could just, yeah,
Yeah, that way.
or
we
even
prevent that
start
from
it up
happening. Yeah.
to turn on the air conditioner with the fans on.
Well,
or something.
hopefully, you know, when
Or
yeah,
it sets off the car alarm, like
set off the app
something like
because the kid's already crying. So
Yeah.
I mean, just
something
let it go.
extreme to make it alert, and then you create an audible that is worldwide known. You know, like the Amber Alert that goes off in your phone. You create a customized
Alert,
sound
yeah.
that
Kids
eventually-
in car. Yeah.
everybody recognizes the sound. If they hear it, they know there's a kid in a car somewhere.
Yeah.
So you create.
Or if you're in like closer proximity, right? That way you're not pinging when you're in South Dakota and the kids are in, you know, Kansas City.
Mhm.
I think within like maybe a 15-mile radius, you know, if you're on that network, it'll tell you, hey, you know,
So that in itself creates a community
Right,
and a
right.
niche that you can definitely
I mean,
monetize.
And there doesn't have to be like a criminal thing for the because
No,
you
it's
know,
an awareness, right?
Yeah.
It's an awareness thing.
I mean, you have to sign a waiver though to let everybody be notified to that degree.
Well,
so
like-
you don't let it get to that point where you know after
right,
first warning.
you know, the Ring doorbell.
Yeah.
Right now they got this thing called Ring Neighborhood, where
Oh,
if
wow.
your neighbors
Yeah.
have Ring,
Yeah.
you guys can kind of link together
Yeah.
to create
I've
a
seen
safe
that.
community.
I've
It'd
seen
be
that.
the same thing with this thing that
Yeah.
we're talking about with cars,
Yeah.
right? I think that is definitely neat because I hate hearing about
Yeah.
kids being overheated in cars because
Yeah, it's just horrible. It's a preventable thing.
Right.
I mean, it's so.
and nobody's
so
created
preventable.
any technology for it.
I think that's important.
So I think what we just kind of talked about now is a solution. If it can,
Yeah, because I think if I think Ring has the capability because they have that kind of network already that we're talking about. I think if they were to diversify their product line to do something like that,
Yeah.
where like Safe Kids, call it Safe Kids or you know whatever, and then have those bands where
Well, it's a
even if
bracelet.
even if they wander off in the neighborhood, the whole network would know. Like say for example, if they're walking
well,
and they stray at the rings,
RFID can be put in anything nowadays
Yeah.
too.
because like Ring would be able to say, okay, wait a minute, this child is not where it's supposed to be. Let's turn on the videos and then watch, and you can actually see them wherever they are, right?
Right.
And I think it would prevent the, you know, abduction. You know, this whole thing is crazy. You know, I mean, look at
I
all
just
the
can't
like
believe
missing kids.
nobody's like created something in a vehicle that could even detect if the kid was in the back or something.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like there's got to be
I
simple
think they.
solutions.
I think that's worth exploring because, you know, yeah, because it's fully preventable. This doesn't have to happen anymore.
Right.
I mean, it's totally. It's kind of like an inoculation, right?
I mean, cars have to improve, and there's always got to be something that is added as safety. Like at one time, there didn't used to be seatbelts. There were seatbelts.
Yeah,
at one
so
time, there
the
wasn't
natural
airbags.
evolution, right?
Yeah, the natural evolution.
And then car seats. And they had car seats, and
Right.
they had, you know.
So now there's got to be something to be able to detect life forms in a vehicle
Yeah.
when you're not in it.
Because I totally feel for that guy. You know, you see that? Where a dad was arrested, and he's going to jail for leaving his kids, and he went to work, and he totally forgot they were in the back, and they're twins. They're like, yeah.
I
They
haven't
died.
read that one, but or
He died.
heard about it.
Yeah, because they left him in a hot car and they totally forgot. That's so sad. I mean, just the suffering alone could have totally been avoided with
Mhm.
something that he. And I'm sure that guy, in retrospect, would have bought that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, would have bought the system or added the system to their vehicle.
That could, I mean, that could definitely be a package that you could upgrade to
Yeah.
in a vehicle. I mean, not every single vehicle needs it, but
But if you even
wanted
added it
to-
on, I mean, it could just plug it into the cigarette lighter and could be done with it, right? That way there's no, and then there's that, you know, even if you turn off the car, there's still like that whole 8 hours of, you know, battery time to alert you as a parent.
There's got to be a way that they can create a seat that had pressure plates in it. You know, like on the
Yeah, to detect
passenger
whether there's
side,
something in
right?
the back, yeah.
Sometimes the airbag can be harmful on the passenger
Yeah.
side. So if you're not weighing a certain amount, it
Yeah, I've
deactivates
seen
it.
that sensor.
So
Yeah.
if they can do it in the back seat, where you
Oh, in the car seat.
yeah, so you give it.
I mean, you can Bluetooth it in. Oh my gosh.
You program it
Yeah.
to where this is what it looks like or feels like with
Yeah.
no baby or kids in it. Then you set the setting. This is where
Sure.
you know you kind of like on a scale. You reset the
Yeah,
weight and then
yeah.
you step on it and then
Yeah.
it gives you your
Yeah,
weight.
yeah, yeah.
You do the same thing with the back seat of your car. This is what it is when nobody's in the back seat.
So
This
what I
is
would
what it
say
is
is
when
to,
somebody is in the back seat, and it knows
Yeah.
if somebody's in there. And if you left somebody in the back seat,
right.
it's going to alert you or something,
Yeah.
right? Or
I think you know how like you have like for us, right? We had this mirror so that you can see the baby in the back, right? So if you're driving, you've got that little mirror. You can see, you know, it's facing the kid, and however it works, right? You can see them back there. I think if you incorporated a camera
with motion detection.
with motion detection,
Because right now, like I got this system called Arlo, right? And if one of my cameras
yeah,
is tripped,
right.
it sends an alert to my phone. Hey, back door.
So what's the difference between that and having it in your vehicle? It isn't. I mean, you can totally have that technology. I mean, you can do it right now. You can purchase that stuff right now. Because there is like even baby monitors that have like the cameras.
You must be missing something because it seems so
It just
simple.
seems
to
so
implement.
simple. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe that's the thing, right? The best
Solution is simple.
solutions are the ones that are the simplest. And you're like, why didn't I think of that?
Why don't we just do it?
Yeah. So yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe buy like a small Wi-Fi camera that's on
create a
board, and then
prototype.
just hook it, make it so it modify it so that it can be strapped onto the back headrest of your vehicle.
Yeah, I think, you know, like when we were younger, the big thing was car stereos, right? We saw stereo
Yeah.
systems, and you have some people that go to like Northwest Audio or whatever,
Yeah.
get these installed. Well, I think we can evolve into a safety company that could you bring your car in, and we would install these things for you to make your car safer
Yeah.
and more. Even if like someone had broken your car, now you got a camera.
Yeah.
that
who it is or whatever, you know.
why isn't that being done? People's
Yeah.
cars are getting broken into all the
All
time.
the time.
And that's something simple that
Something that-
it could be already
Like
implemented.
inside your car.
Uses your car battery and it
You
only
could also, like, say for example, you know, if you're, I mean, you could use it to, you know, spy on your kids. You know what I mean? If you like unauthorized use of your vehicle, right?
Right.
Your teen drives off in the middle of the night.
or to get like answers
Okay, so
to an accident, right?
We
Like,
need to
what
talk about
happened?
this because I see you on this video. You need to return the car. Hey, I thought we agreed that you would use the car tonight. Why are you driving? Bring it back. I see
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
I got you. I mean, I could send
I know where
the
you're
police
at.
over. I mean, I could come get you.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Oh, it could even be a handheld. Like, hey, you need to come home. You know, it's getting late. Oh, my mom.
I like that.
Where it's like, hey, I mean, you wouldn't have to activate the camera, but you'd like, because in sense of their privacy for your child, they have to push the button, you know, to authorize your mom to come on camera. 'Cause, you know, you want privacy. So I'm authorizing my mom to open the
I
camera.
don't, you know, because car alarms are on almost every new car right now, where people can install
Yeah.
car alarms.
Yeah.
I don't know why nobody's ever thought of a camera that is motion detected, so that way if somebody broke in, you could at least
That's
see
a
the
simple
date
one, right?
and time. You know what I mean? It just seems so simple.
That's a totally simple solution.
And things are even cheaper nowadays, and it wouldn't have to obstruct anything because we're talking about look at this little
I mean, because
iPhone camera,
OnStore,
right?
Because like OnStore,
You just need one of these in the back seat, right there,
Yeah.
and you can program it to only work when the door's locked or the
Right,
alarm's
right.
activated.
Well, because like OnStore was supposed to be like, hey, you know, you've seen that there's a theft in your vehicle, you see it traveling down the street, you know, we can turn it off for you. You know, that's not you, right?
With internet being worldwide, you could link it to
I mean,
where-
I think with the 5G internet,
Mhm.
I think you could do it.
yeah, definitely.
Like totally do.
Show me what's going on in my car right now.
Yeah,
You know,
because like you can do it at your house, right?
and think about it for safety. Like, let's say you're parked in someplace
Yeah.
dark, right? You can actually go to your phone,
Do the
make sure nobody's in your car before you get there.
Because you know, okay,
You know what I
like,
mean?
okay, so you know how like the Ford Raptor, right? It has all these cameras all around it, right? And it actually the AI can simulate looking over the top of your vehicle, like it's a satellite shot. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've
Where you
seen
can
some of the
actually see,
commercials.
where you can back up and it could totally see 360 around you. It'd be the same thing. I mean, it would just be very easy to do. If somebody breaks into your vehicle, the camera would activate. It would record, you know, it would do all the stuff. It would notify the police, it would notify you that your vehicle being stolen, unauthorized entry. It would, just like you, I mean, it's so simple, right?
We
It's
talked
just
about
like-
the face recognition in our
Yeah.
other episode about
Yeah.
how
The
your car
biometrics.
would know you and
Yeah.
hello, how are you
Authorized
today?
user.
Or
unauthorized.
even with that being said too, hey, is your kid with you today? Yes, it is. Shall I remind you? Always remind me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know.
I think that's the
so
solution. It's like
simple.
things are going to evolve to where this shouldn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
And it's simple stuff that
Or even
they're not
like,
going to have to program too much stuff. It's just adding that
no, it's just
feature.
adding that. Yeah, we adding that feature. Because it's just like your car, like you said, it's your car alarm. I mean, why not
Your
have
car
a car
alarm.
camera?
Yeah, your car alarm's going to evolve.
Yeah.
Add the camera to it.
That'd be perfect. I mean,
Look how small this camera is. You know what I mean? Like, and it's got wide range. Like,
yeah. I mean, in fact though, like if you leave your phone in the car,
but how many people do that?
a lot
That's
of people
the-
do that.
Leave their phone in the car?
Yeah, they forget.
You think? I don't know.
It'd be funny if you walk away and after like it would go beep beep beep. You got your what's up? Then the criminals can say, hey, he forgot his phone.
don't know. I was like, it's very rarely I leave my phone in my car. It's very rarely I leave.
Oh, would you have it hooked up? I mean, because I usually have mine magnetized onto it. Oh yeah, hands free.
I don't know. We'll have to look into that. I guess we'll have to take a poll one of these times and say, hey, how many people do this? We're trying to research and get some data here.
Yeah. Well, I think we're pretty close now, eh?
Yep. I think we got some good
The
topics.
sun is in my face.
Sun's in the face.
Well, actually, it's pretty good, actually. I don't know what the video will look like as it evolved, but gosh, it was a pretty morning one.
It was.
It
Got some good colors. All right, well.
A little hiccup there, you know.
Thank you for joining us this Friday, episode number 6. It could almost be 6.5 because we kind of started stop, you know. So if you're watching this, there might be some
hopefully
segments.
Hopefully, he's got magic in editing,
you know, and we'll edit some stuff. I don't know. But thank you for joining us.
Or maybe have like, I don't know. Can you edit it where it's just you at where the segment where I'm missing?
Yeah.
You just go ahead and just.
Yeah, I can.
Hand it to you. Just kind of flip it.
Yep. I can do that too.
Dude, you know what? I almost during the whole week, like this week and last week, I was thinking, man, this would be kind of cool if we did it twice a week. That would be cool.
I think, you know, I think we could get close. I mean, I think it could be coming soon. I just feel like doors are opening and there's just opportunities, and I think that maybe we'll do the show once a week still, but if we meet twice a week, we can prepare a little bit more.
Sure.
For the upcoming show.
Talk about
some topics.
Plan for the topics.
Yeah, and kind of make it more.
Because I love the fact that we were.
For you guys.
What I really like is that we were very generic. And that the conversation about kids lifting up in the vehicle is something obviously we're really passionate about. It's something that doesn't need to happen in today's world.
You're right. And our conversations, they always start here at this level, and then they just go boom,
boom.
So,
and then they're like, "Whoa, that's so simple."
That's what's awesome. Our conversations just kind of get more. I don't know. Just make it better the more we sit and talk. You know.
I think now it's just at the point of we're talking about it's almost as a hey, we've got to go to the next step. Hey, if you are interested in funding us,
we're talking about some interesting topics, and then me and you find and hone in on one that's like,
and we just jump on each other like, this is cool. Wait a minute, how about that?
That car seat thing, man, that just bothers me. Like, I don't want to see it happen ever again to anybody.
It's just scary to think about, and it's so easy that it happens because sometimes we get into the thought of a grocery list and
I know there's a lot of people that whenever you see that type of news, there's some people that are so judgmental, and it's easy not to feel that way, but at the same time,
it's one of those things.
It's one of those things that
it can happen.
I hope it never happens.
It never
happens.
Yes.
I hope it never happens. And I also want it to not happen. That's why I want something created.
Yeah.
And I think there's a solution out there that's so simple that just needs to be implemented and executed. And I don't think it's going to cost that much. You know what I mean? I just think someone needs to say, hey, like someone almost needs to shake somebody and say, hey, stupid. Just at the camera. Just do this simple thing. That's all you gotta do. And I don't know what red tape or what's
causing that from happening.
Yeah, it's like, why isn't that being implemented? Like, is there something that we don't know about, or is it politics about something, or?
It's so sad
if we
though.
could create a bolt-on gadget, those little things that are in cars that you can plug in right now that tells you your miles per gallon or your diagnostics in your car. We could create something similar that could go right into that. Very plug and play, right?
Yeah.
So you plug it into your car, and then you take it's like a Bluetooth chip. You plug it in there, and then just put the camera anywhere you want.
Let's make it and then go on like Shark Tank.
Just do it. I think we should do it.
Happen.
Yeah.
Just make the little camera.
that could be its own security company, right?
Yeah.
It could just go into different things
It could
and
totally
create
be
a
like-
line of products
Yeah,
that
it'd be
can
like child monitoring.
and it could even compete with the likes
Yeah.
of Ring and Nest and all
Yeah,
that because
exactly.
it would be our own brand. But
I mean, even if you jump on to the, like, say, for example, for
But our-
Ring to diversify.
our niche would be really
Yeah.
focused on preventing that in-car death,
Yeah.
you know.
Or abduction.
Even your pets are important, right? So even something that would let you know
Yeah.
that your pet, and the pets is an easy one, right? Because pets all have, if you have a dog, you should have a dog collar that stays on them all the time.
Well, like
You
people.
put a little RFID chip on the tag there, or even embedded in the collar itself
Yeah.
that is linked to your car, and it's
Yeah.
like it just knows, like you set up some rules and says, use if-then statements.
Yeah.
If car
If car
is off
is-
and
If car is
RFID.
120 degrees inside of it, would trigger off like, hey,
that little collar, that little
beep beep beep
that
beep beep.
emblem,
Yeah, yeah, the little tag,
the little tag could be the thermometer
thermometer,
and
or even the heart monitor.
or something, right?
Yeah.
It's a thermometer and it's linked to the car somehow or linked to you.
Yeah. It'd be
Man.
like, hey, there's something with a heartbeat in my car, in the car, inside
That's
of
cool.
me as a vehicle. Well, temperature is rising to 125 degrees.
I think that's
Start the car.
a good
It'll
niche.
still be locked.
That is good niche because people love their pets just as much as they love their kids.
And you can do it for kids. I mean, you can have a little, not necessarily like dog bag, but you can have a little necklace or bracelet or something
A
that
wearable,
looks cute. Yeah. You know who has a lot of wearables is Garmin. I mean, Garmin's here in Kansas City. Not only do they have that, but they also have GPS tracking. Just imagine. The technology is there.
Technology.
It just hasn't been.
There's things for life jackets for people that swim. Now there's something for your car when it's off and not.
Yeah. So it knows that there's something in the close proximity. There's something.
I wonder how somebody could take this idea we're talking about and help us launch it.
Yeah.
I mean, I really feel passionate about this one. I think that
I think it's worth exploring.
it's worth exploring, and I feel.
I mean, we could just do like right now. What technology is available?
We've been talking about this since last year, right? Remember
Yeah.
when we first talked about this?
I think-
We talked about the car seats. And
Yeah.
I really feel that this is something
good
that
one.
is a really good one.
Yeah.
And
And I think
saving a
it's-
life.
I mean,
using something simple.
even if you had to just reprogram it for a different purpose, repurpose it, and then rebrand it,
Right.
I think that would be cool. Even if you did organic reach on Facebook instead of advertising it on like network or whatever, just do organic reach. I think it would happen. And have it like an app for your phone, because it's Bluetooth enabled, right? So whatever the bio, whatever it is,
Right.
you would know.
Yeah.
I think if you,
It's worth looking into, and we're trying to
Yeah.
develop. I think that the solution isn't as hard as we think it could be, but the value of it
Is
is
tremendous.
tremendous.
Huge.
Where the
Huge.
market for it is huge.
huge. I mean, because they have things for kids now, right? They have the little wearables that they have on their backpacks. Have you seen that? The little taggy thingy where you can
Is it more of an RFID type thing?
it's a chip, yeah.
Hmm.
If you look, if you research it, you'll find it.
Yeah.
But if you can instill it like a micro camera, as well as a backup battery, as well as
Right. If cops can wear whatever with cameras,
Yeah.
then kids should be safe too. And
I mean, you don't have to get a big battery. You can get a small, 3.5 volt button battery.
And sometimes we as parents need some answers. Like if your kid comes home and they're not being themselves and you're trying to find out what happened, maybe seeing a video of how their day went, you might notice that there's some bullying going on
Yeah.
that they don't want to talk about, or something happened that they don't want to talk about.
Bring it to the administrator or whatever. Saying,
Yeah.
that's a video.
Yeah. Just
I think
sometimes you need the
if we
answers.
started with the solving the problem of kids being left in videos, I think that would be it.
Right.
And just go with it, and then expand from there if we need to.
You know how like the remote starters,
Yeah.
it has to be in your car to start your car.
Yeah.
Just use the opposite technology to where
Where
if it's in the car,
Yeah.
it's gonna do the opposite. That's it. Simple.
backwards.
All right.
It
Well,
was
that's a
already
wrap. Focus on the beauty on the inside
Yeah.
and car safety. I know that it's going into the fall right now, but
Yeah.
still, you're still gonna have this problem next year when it gets hot. So we got to proactively prepare ourselves
Yeah.
for those things. And once you get this technology, it's gonna stay with your car through every season.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have the reverse. You
It
could
would
freeze
be-
to death in your car.
Just think of it. The guys that created the sunshade, was made out of cardboard back in the day, and they made millions of dollars on cardboard,
And they work.
and everyone bought one.
They work though.
I have one.
Yeah,
It's more
they
sophisticated
work.
than the one when they first came out, but
Yeah, they work. They
And-
keep your car so
Yeah.
cool.
yeah.
Wow. Simple
Anyway.
solutions.
I think we need to do some swag. What do you think?
No, we'll have to definitely try to meet twice a week, and then on one of the days
We'll just do planning.
do some of that planning stuff and actually creating some swag and things like that.
So what do you think? Maybe like a Thursday morning, and then Friday would be ready to go, or maybe like a Wednesday morning, and then we're ready to go on Friday. Because
We'll
you gotta
have
think
to-
about your schedule too.
Yeah. Thursday morning might work,
And then be ready for the show on Friday.
or
That way we can iron out all our tech
yeah.
and just come in and then ready to
So stay tuned, guys, for some slight modifications and just some improvements.
Yeah.
We promise that it will only get better and
Yeah.
it'll be more streamlined.
And you and I can start doing some research on stuff that's available right now,
Mm-hmm.
or what we're thinking of.
Right. So there could be a separate channel
Yeah.
off to the left regarding
Or,
that
yeah.
specific niche, maybe.
Maybe like a subcategory of our
Yeah.
show.
Right.
PS Good Morning.
It could be
PS Solutions.
PS Solutions, PS Good Morning. It could be P&R,
PNR.
Research and Development,
Yeah.
R&D, PR.
PS R&D.
Yeah. We'll think of something, but I think that definitely we were talking about some good ideas that I think we
Conceptual thinking.
really need to look into some of these because there is a need.
I think there is. I think it's definitely a need. I think it's something
It's
that
definitely a
hasn't been
concern.
explored.
It's definitely a
It's
concern.
definitely a concern.
People
And I
on the
think-
news are upset about it. I mean, social media is upset about it, but nobody has provided a solution.
and they're
The
always
only
talking
thing
about
that
the
I've
problem.
seen is people talk about the problem, or they're just bashing the parents that this may have happened to.
Yeah.
Just come up with solutions. I
Yeah,
mean,
let's not let's put a spotlight on the problem, but let's also work on the solutions.
yeah. All right. With that being said, think about solutions. PS Good Morning.
Take care. I'm
Take
gonna be
care.
29 forever.
Forever. You're cheating with death.
Do like that.
We're being 29 forever. Anyway, goodbye.
Peace.
Peace.